Hello everyone, welcome back to Portside Rustics. We are going to start a 6-video series. And the series is from when I did a live on Facebook. One of the things I was doing was a baby jar. Turning into a stash jar, decorative storage jar, whatever you want to call it. There's a comment stating that little jars seem to be a nice way to experiment with different techniques, so you're not wasting a whole tumbler, and if it comes out bad, you don't have to feel totally bad because you didn't waste a lot of product. So I was like, well, I have a lot of baby jars from my grandbaby. Matter of fact, I got 18 of them right here. So this is going to be called the Baby Food Jar Series. It'll be a total of 6 videos. Each video will consist of a different technique. We're going to do some mica with epoxy mix. We'll do a dry mica, a couple different techniques with dry mica. You've seen one of them that I've done. We're going to do another one I learned from another YouTuber. We're going to do some alcohol inks. Work with some textiles, yarn, embroidery floss, fabric, different objects. I'm going to do some with vinyl, and we're going to see what we come up with. So basically this is going to be an experimental series. So the first week will be probably mica mixed in resin. Do some swirls. The second week, or the second video, will consist of the dry mica. And each video, I'll do 3 jars. My turner has 3 turners, so I'll do 3 jars. 3 times 6 is 18 jars. So 6 videos. We're going to do some experimenting. So the first thing we're going to do is the jar still has the label. Now, when I used to brew beer, and I used to take labels off beer bottles and used to soak it with baking soda and hot water. Well, that's paper labels. These are plastic. I don't know how well that's going to go underneath. But I'm going to give it a shot with some baking soda and hot water, let it sit overnight, see if they peel off. Because they don't peel off very easy right now. If that doesn't work out and we strike out doing that, we'll try using the heat gun, heating it up a little bit, peeling it off. So the next step in this process, because we're going to go all the way to painting the lids, how I tape off the threads, how I remove the tape from the threads as the turner's turning, the start to finish process. So let me get set up to get these soaked in some baking soda and some hot water, and I'll let them sit overnight, and we'll come back then to see if they're going to lift off or if we're going to end up trying it with a heat gun. Everyone, it is the next morning. We're going to go over me soaking the baby jars. I said I was going to do them all. I ended up only doing 3 to test to see if the baking soda hot water solution would work. Now I know it worked with beer bottles because it was paper. It soaked through the paper, loosened up the glue. It was easy to get off. These, they had plastic like stickers on them. So I did soak them all overnight. Here is one that I did. So let's go try to peel, see how well this peels off. Well, it doesn't peel off any better than before I soaked it. So I mentioned another way we were going to try to take these off is by using a heat gun. So let's get out the heat gun, put that back in there. Reach over, grab my heat gun. It's plugged in behind my thing here. Good old Wagner. So I'm going to take one that we haven't soaked. Take the cap off. Turn this on low. We'll heat up the sticker. Hopefully that'll loosen the glue behind it and it'll peel off nicely. If there's any glue residue, I could always use some Goo Gone. Let's see. It does make it a little easier to grab and pull. It is leaving some of the sticky residue. So I think we're going to continue to do this, and then we'll come back and we'll take the Goo Gone or see if we can't get the gluey mess off. Let's do this other side real quick. See if I heat it up even more. If more of it will, see, got it on low. Worry about burning your hands, maybe a pair of gloves. It definitely makes the sticker itself come off easy and exposes the glue. So I think we will probably not going to do every single one of them right now. I'll do them as I need to go for the other videos. This just gives you an idea. Now the other video I did was a Gerber style baby jar. These are beech nut baby jars which taper. Gerbers are straight and these ones taper down. Still 4 ounce, I believe. Yeah, 4 ounce jars. So let me get a few of these done up with the stickers off them, and we'll be back to get the glue taken care of. But off of 3 of them, I got sticky glue residue left. Got my Goo Gone, some rags. Let's see if we can. So now, after I use Goo Gone on my stuff, I usually give it a wash with some hot soapy water, rinse it off, dry it off, and then go on with projects from there. So while we're just kind of seeing how well this is going to work, if you are enjoying the video or videos, please give a subscribe. If you find that this is a helpful video, give it a thumbs up, and then share with your friends. Get them to subscribe. Like I said, I'm not here to tell people how to do it. I'm just here showing people how I do things. And these jars are, like I said, going to be for experimental type things for me to do. I'm going to try some techniques that other people have done on bigger jars, but I'm going to try them, or on tumblers, and I'm going to try them here on jars. But as you can see, the sticky residue comes off pretty nice with the Goo Gone. So I'm pretty sure if you had a citrus oil or something of that, orange oil, they'd probably all come off of that too. I just happen to have Goo Gone. A little bit more. I'm going to try to get links put in the description. Like I said, I'm still kind of new, time restrictive on some things. I'm using an editing app, just kind of learning, getting my feet wet with that. So trying to get better as we go. Any helpful information would be great. Whether you want to email it to me, leave it in the comments. You can email me at porchsiderustic@gmail.com. Now with these baby food jars, if anybody is interested in trying out baby food jars, my wife and I do also do reselling on eBay, Poshmark, and I do have some more baby jars for sale. I'll leave the link in the comments below or in the description below. And if you're interested, there's an opportunity. I think I have two 36 packs. Now, depending on if people are interested and want less, maybe I can break them down and relist them under a smaller amount. But so coming off pretty good. May take a little bit. So the next step is going to be for me is to go wash them with hot soapy water, dry them off. And I'm not going to bring you through that because that's kind of boring stuff. Then when we come back, we'll go how I take the threads off, how I mount these on my arm, my turner arms, and then we'll go give them a base coat. So we're back. I got done washing these with hot soapy water. I've dried them off. I went and got 3 of my turner arms, and of course I had to come up with something that I can hold it on there because it's not a normal size of something that we usually use. So I had an old towel I cut up into strips and wrapped them around the turner arm, held it together with electrical tape. Epoxy doesn't stick to electrical tape all that great. And so then I went and see a little flap there, that's so I can pull it off, because then I wrapped the threads with electrical tape. It's kind of like so here. I'll go just to the edge. Let's see if I can get you to see this with my bad lighting. Kind of find the edge of the rim, go around. I usually pull out a fair amount ahead so you don't have to try to pull it and distort your tape. So after I connected to where I was, I'll go up a little bit. Cut the tape, make a little flap to be able to hold on to when I go to pull it off later, and they're ready to go. So, and I'll do this with the tape around the threads with each coat. I'm going to go down and spray paint it. Then after I put my first coat of epoxy, then that's when I'll take this off. I got to readjust it a little bit. You can kind of see if you have too much the way it's going. And again, so I'll have 3 of those. So the next step will be to paint. These 3 are going to be done with mixing mica with epoxy. I'm probably going to use all the same base coat. Just going to use black for this. And go from there. See what we can come up with. Then decide if we want to just leave them plain or if we want to put any images on them, decals, personalize them. So let me get set up and we'll go paint. Here now, all set up to do the epoxy part of this 3-jar 6 video series. I'm going to use mica powder mixed with epoxy. The mica powder I'm using is Decor Rom. 2 of the colors for one of the jars are going to be fuchsia and bear. For this middle one, we're going to use bronze, beer, and magical gold. And for the one closest to the camera, we are going to use, I would be using black, but I got to apparently order some more black because I don't have much black, and I have an order where I'm going to need black here soon. So we're going to use orchid, magical red, and gray. All these have been sprayed with a flat black, 2 coats. And so let's get some epoxy mixed up here. Because I don't know how much it's going to take because I have a lot of different colors. I am going to mix up a total of 80 mLs, 80 milliliters. Let's see here if I can scooch around. It's fairly warm in my place, so it's like 70 degrees. So my epoxy is nice and thin. It pours fairly decent. And again, I'm still using this new stuff, Cimarron. Let's see if I can. This is the resin. And so if I mix up a little too much extra, I have a smiley face mold out here that I'll fill up with a bunch of smiley faces. Let's see. There's chocolate mold, but I use them for epoxy. Thick. So let's get stirring some epoxy. I think I'm going to try to do the clear on all 3 of them at once, then mix my epoxy. I'm hoping it's not going to thicken up on me too quick. But again, these are experiment jars. The way to try new techniques. I figure they're small enough. I might be able to keep up with the curing workable time. I think they said it had a 30-minute window, so we'll see. I've already got the micas in my paper Dixie cups. Turn on the spinners here in a moment. One of them I probably should have lifted up a little bit because it's usually where my 3/4 inch pipe arm goes. And I got a little spritz bottle and I put some 91% alcohol in. And instead of using my heat gun, I'm going to attempt to spritz that on there. They say that helps with bubbles. Although usually with mica powders, I don't worry about the bubbles too much. They're usually never seen. It just looks like part of the glitz and glam of the sparkliness. Nice and mixed. So I think it'll be best for me to do all the cups and then mix all the turn on 1, 2, 3. They're all turning. Turning the wrong way for me right this moment. So we'll switch them around here. Yeah, I'm not affiliated with anybody with the products that I use. It's what I use, it's what I started out with. This one, like I said, it was new. The price was right. It said it was 0 VOC. So I don't do deep pours. And so far, another project I did came out really nice. So let's move some of this stuff out of the way. And we'll get started. Probably work the furthest away. My camera tripod kind of broke, so my camera is permanently mounted right this moment, so I can't bring it over with me. But we're gonna go up and down, up and down. Wait, that comes back around. Up and down. So on the bottom here. Up and down. Some fuchsia. Like that. Spin a little bit. I actually might just use my heat gun to get things to move around instead of the spritzing the alcohol. But we'll let that one spin for a little bit. We'll move on to the next one. This one, I'm going to start out with the beer. We'll get some going across the bottom here. This one, I would just do some swirls. We'll overlap everything. Might use this as another color over in the first one. We'll see. So now this is the bronze. Get this to go across the bottom a little bit. Get this to the opposite. Come back around. Like I said, just different techniques. See how it comes out. Try to remember. Well, I'll have video to go back, so if I ever like any of them, can always refer back to the video if I want to do a tumbler or a bigger jar. Yeah, I think we're gonna use the heat gun just to try to get some movement over here. Spin it the other way, see what happens. Alrighty, let's go to some magical gold. He said about after I get done this in about 40 minutes or a half hour. So after I'm done putting the epoxy on, I'll come back and I'll remove the tape. The wife getting us some snacks for a little bit here. That's if you hear the crunching. Don't ever plan really seeing her on a video. It'd be like not happening. Well, that was a big glob. It's gonna be interesting. It's weird that. So, I wonder if I stop this one for a moment. I'm gonna stop that. Let the epoxy. Can't be already starting to set up, I wouldn't think. There. Starting to drip. We're getting close to dripping. So now, hopefully we're getting some movement going. The bottom of this one's looking kind of cool. It's starting to swirl around. Let's do some over here. I think we're going to start with the, what is this, ruby, I think? Orchid. This one we're just going to do in spurts this way. Throw some gray. Magical red. Try not to glob it on too much. I think I'm going to use some magical red over here. Layer some more colors. Spin this the other way. Spin this one the other way. Spin that one that way. Cool. Like I said, really don't have a plan other than the colors itself. Where I use the wrong one. I think I used fuchsia where I was going to use orchid. So, like I said, the plan sometimes goes awry. So now I'm using orchid. So what happens when you get too many colors all together? Oh, yeah, more fuchsia. Although, just to see if any reaction happens, it's the problem with using plastic utensils, they're heavy. Let's this one. I'm going to stop this one. Let the colors start to run to one side. Maybe even let some of them drip in the gold. Some more bronze. As it thickens up, hopefully it will start to pattern out. Okay, let's turn you back on. And you might kind of see where it started to run and drip. Some of these, depending on how they come out, I'm going to be doing a peekaboo set with some of these, and so it's a possibility these ones might end up, or maybe one out of each video series will end up as a peekaboo. Peekaboo. It's a boo. It's almost like it's starting to thicken up a little bit. We'll do some thin strokes. This will be my bronze. Let's throw the heat to it. See if I can't get any movement going. It's just not moving very much. Then I think the rest we're just going to fill up these smiley faces. There. Something's starting to happen. So I'll come back and take the tape off the rim, and then tomorrow morning take quick shots, show you where it's at. I'm probably not going to go right through to do the next 2 coats because I don't think I want to put any vinyl on these. I've already painted the covers black. So we'll go from there and see how these look tomorrow morning. Everybody have themselves a good one. Well, it's the next day, and I told you that I was going to, while it was turning, show you how the tape comes off the threads before it dries. Well, last night, about 45 minutes after I got done turning or putting the epoxy on, I went out to do a little segment to take the tape off to show you how the tape comes off the threads, how clean it is. Excuse me. And I had camera problems. So I wasn't able to show that. So what we do have is the caps or the lids painted black. I'm probably still going to put another coat of paint on it and probably clear just to help keep the paint from chipping off the tops. But let's get a close-up of what we came up with. So this, let's see if I can. I'm probably not going to put any vinyl on these, I've decided. Kind of like them how they are. Unless somebody wants one and they want it personalized, then I'll put vinyl on and add another coat of epoxy. Even though this is only 1 coat of epoxy, the way it's covered, and it is just a little jar that people would probably use, but I can't picture getting beat up too bad. It is a pretty thick coat that I'm not going to worry about putting another coat of epoxy. Other than this one, I have a couple small divoted dry spots. Sorry, my allergies are kicking my butt today. So that's what that is. Let me put the camera back up here. So I'm getting a little better with my editing. Hopefully you'll see that through this. And the next one are going to be 3 more jars, same type of jars. We're going to do a dry mica powder technique 2 different ways. One is the way I've done some other ones, where I just kind of just tap the spoon, brush, or whatever, the mica powder off onto the jars as it spins. The other one is by a YouTuber, Rebecca Escort, I believe, and she has a YouTube channel, Everything Tumbler Tutorials. So go check her out on that channel, and I'm going to try a jar doing it like that. So until the next video, everybody take care. Happy spinning.